Hi all, welcome to another Chess24 Banter Blitz. Okay, I'd like to show you the discount code screen first. You can get a whopping 15% off premium membership with the voucher code Kingscrusher. Kingscrusher. So 15% off. You can challenge me and other streamers. You just turn up 10 to 15 minutes beforehand, send your challenge, goes on our challenge list. And that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to look at the challenge list. So let's go to the challenge screen. I hope audio and visual is okay before we start. Let me know if there's any issue. Okay, gonna take the first challenge today. So Mocon. Actually, I was just gonna check I should really check my audio settings myself as well. All right, it's decent. All right, so I'll play knight f6 and g6, king's engine defense. A favorite of Fischer. That's a picture of Fischer, isn't it? There. Yeah, that looks like, or is it? I think it might be. So Fischer used to play the king's engine defense. And so did the Kasparov. It's not so popular nowadays, at the top levels at least. Let's see, e5 is classical variation. And I'll get this c5 square with this Petrosian move, I think, Petrosian style system, but it's also with bishop g5, isn't it? Okay, I'm not sure of the exact names of these variations, but anyway, with this structure, I think getting a knight to c5 here might be okay. It might be appropriate. Putting some pressure on e4. Now with b3, it makes me think that h6, getting a knight to f4 is with a bonus perk of trying to open up the bishop. That's something to bear in mind if I want to route the knight this way. I think this could be more effectual now, putting a knight on f4, because I can open up that bishop. Now the bishop there, that's very, very interesting, not on e2. That's getting intriguing. So there's some subtle differences here. Bishop on this diagonal, well, on e2 suppresses b5, for example. So if I want to play b5, that's a bit of a looser square than usual with the bishop on c2 rather than e2. I'm wondering if knight f4 is worth it. I'm going to try it because of this, as I say, this perk of being able to open up the bishop. Although, you know, e5 might be interesting. But this diagonal at the moment is looser than usual because of the bishop here. Okay, I'll support that, I think. That pawn. Now possibly knight d4 to f5 is on the cards. This is an earlier time than usual, by the way, so interesting, 9:30. Okay, so g4, because the Tatar still, the last round is today. So g4, knight d4, bishop e5, I'm not sure about that. What if I just try and lock e5 a bit with the rook? It looks as though one perk about not, I mean, having the bishop here, it suppresses f5, actually. If I wanted to play f5, that's going to be trickier, it seems. I think knight d4 to f5 is interesting. I think I should keep this light square bishop because of this maneuver threat. Knight d4 to f5. I can't just give. Oh, okay. Okay. Can I do this? Oh, hold me. I think I have got an immediate threat of g4. If the knight, well, g4 actually, the knight's got nowhere to go. Maybe e5. The knight's actually blocked at the moment. Two reverse gears have gone. I think g4 picks up the knight. So I'm holding f4 with this queen f6. This is a little bit of an unusual situation for a king's engine. But I think that knight is in trouble here. I suspect it's in trouble on f3. Okay, I think I will take that. And now I might be able to threaten bishop g4 if I played queen g5. I guess there's knight f5, for example, but let's see what happens. Maybe on knight f5 I just play bishop e5. There might be h4. And if queen takes, then there's no, there isn't knight takes h6. No, there is. If my bishop neglects h6, then knight f5 and h4 is on the cards, because if takes, then there's knight takes h6, check. Okay, I could take this knight off first and then play bishop e5. I think I'll do that. And I've got to be a bit careful about this diagonal. At the moment, the knight's controlling d3 and e4. I'm wondering if I can play f6, say king h7, rook g8, just to put pressure on this g-file here. So f6 seems sensible in some respect. Or moving the king. Maybe h8 is safer for rook g8. I just want to play rook g8 at some point. I seem to have I've underestimated that. Okay. Oh, maybe it's okay. This g3 is on the fire at the moment. And if I took on g3 and then g2, it's possibly something to do. Well, I hope it's something to do. At least I'm taking out the possibility of this bishop being nudged. Oh, that is a bit dangerous, isn't it? Oh, crikey. My opponent is up to something naughty here. I hope not too naughty. He's opened up this bishop. That gives some dynamic potential. This bishop on the light squares. Let's go back here. I wonder. Yeah, let's try and suppress g5. Discourage. No, I think you can play g5 anyway. It's getting a bit alarming, actually. Because of this h-file. Okay, it's not trying. Time's a bit short. Thanks for the game. Interesting game there. Okay, Kaz. I'll try. Well, it's King's Engine Day. Try another King's Engine. So this is we're going into the Fianchetto variation of the King's Engine. Well, it seems as though e5 is possible. It might not be brilliant. Knight c4, e4 for e3. Maybe that's pretty disruptive. And then is that worth it as a pawn sack? You know, I don't know. It might be worth as a sort of disruptive pawn sack. It's a bit speculative. I kind of fancy it though. I'm giving the F file though as well. You know what? I've probably given my opponent some stuff to play with. Okay, rook takes e3 here. Or is knight c2 getting the queens off? Maybe I want to play this with knight g4 instead. Actually, coming to think about it, I mean it's a better celebration of the double pawns. I don't like leaving my queen loose. Because there's something like knight c2 hits the queen and the rook there. If I play rook takes e4, I think just having a loose piece, even for a moment, is potentially troublesome. In fact, one of the key games that the neural network Leela Chess lost to Stockfish recently from a stable position was momentarily having a loose piece, and it led to a total disaster tactically. So even huge calculating monsters, if they have loose pieces, you know, sometimes it can be trouble for them. So here, I mean, again, the same thing applies. Knight takes and then knight c2. On the other hand, a1 is something to cause celebration, maybe. So possibly knight takes e3 is playable. Let's see. I mean, knight c2 concretely, or knight f5. Knight f5. I think I'd probably take the queen and then take. Okay, can I just move this back? Okay, so at least I haven't got a loose piece now. And the dark square bishops without a counterpart, which gives me the idea that I should have some action on dark squares here. I wonder. Okay, let's just avoid the exchange of queens for a moment. Maybe c6 feels okay to stop that d5 square. It's not as if it's immediately a problem d5, but just in case it's a problem. Bishop f5 to e4. No, that's ruled out. What about bishop d7 and then just rook a d8? Actually, that one perk of that is blunting the diagonal anyway. It's not just about the d5 square. I think I've just blunted that diagonal a little bit. I'm wondering rook a d8. Okay, so just making the pieces look more central. I mean, ready for action in the center. My opponent has more pawn islands here, I've noticed. And actually, one aspect of that, okay, although this is potentially weak, this is also, I think, underminable with h5, h4 quite usefully. I'm going to do that because actually there's also the possibility of bishop h6 as well. h4 possibility of a form pawn or just isolating a pawn. Go with this, maybe install the fawn, dreaded fawn pawn. Because the knight's not like protecting against h4 attack for h3. Have this fawn pawn. Now, if like bishop h1, I don't think I can play knight e4 because of taking and then queen f7. And if I played f5, I'm kind of restricting the bishop. If I played bishop h3, it seems it might not have any great points. Possibly f5 is worth it anyway, just with the idea of clamping down I'm going to go with this, and then maybe something like knight e4 becomes possible because the bishop takes, queen takes without losing f7. I guess that is a kind of pawn to attack and fix. Is it? Bishop h6 and knight e4. Okay, knight f4 hits h3, and there's g5 too radical. What's g5 do? Does g5 do anything? I think I've got to stop knight f4. This is a bit weakening. I'm creaking here. It's a little bit weakening. Alright, I'll protect this now. Have I got an imminent pawn break? No, that's queen h5. That's queen h5. Oh, I'm going to give up the f4 square soon. Okay, I'm giving up the f4 square now. So it actually could move the queen, then knight e2 to f4. Maybe it's not such a big deal. I have got this form pawn, which I've been expressing enthusiasm recently for. Is it actually possible to do something with that? As a general concept, the pawn pawn is a sort of goal-hanging pawn. So this e2 to f4 plan is invoked. The knight's protecting the bishop. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Okay, what I'm going to do is just prepare for knight f4 with bishop f7. Yeah. Knight f5 is threatened. Oh, that's a bit unpleasant, really. If I took that, bishop g6, just offering this. Bishop. Yeah, time. Okay. Thanks for the game, Kaz. It's an excellent position you've got in the final position. I think the engine would agree. Oh, it thinks that black might be slightly better for some reason. King f2. There's not much in it. Okay, thanks. So I'll have high. Just a reasonable start position. Nothing too controversial at the moment. F5 seems plausible. And knight f4. Knight f4. What does that do? Anything? Actually, it protects d3. Hang on. I think winning d3 with g5 is a bit dodgy for the king. I hope it's a bit dodgy. Huh. No, I think it is, because knight h5 and f6 form pawn. Again. Whoa. D3 for a form pawn seems like a good deal to me. I've done well in some tournaments recently online with form pawns. I think this is a good pawn sack for the form pawn. I'm very happy with this. Now maybe I'm totally like deluded. In fact, I can take in an f6. Maybe that's even stronger. Because if I played f6, bishop h6, it's a bit like Fort Knox. If I took out that defensive bishop, then played f6, it seems g5 is going to drop immediately anyway. I get my pawn back. It's not even a pawn sack unless black entertains king g6. On king g6, well, you know, it looks well dodgy. So I got my pawn back. In fact, there's an immediate bishop h6 to g7 there to think about. Can I just simply win the exchange with bishop g7? Will it be sacrificed? No. All right, queen d2 might be a move, protecting b2 for a moment, also eyeing h6. I guess knight e2 to f4. Well, at least gets rid of that. And yeah, black is actually interestingly defensively placed. Knight a2 seems as though it does something in this position. Okay, I have to, I think, protect this. d6 actually seems like a legitimate target here all of a sudden. I have got that Maroczy bind structure against d6. If I just played rook ad1, what's wrong with rook ad1 here? I think this would be more effective than usual because this rook is stuck there. It's not the usual rook configuration. The rook on b8 doesn't really support b5 at the moment, does it? Okay, the knight's pretty on e5, but what if I just played rook ad1? Right. Of course. I can play knight e2 maybe, and that does allow b5, knight f4, knight f4, queen f4. There might be something like queen e5 rook d8 if black's not careful. It's possibly worth trying to get rid of this knight on d3 with knight f4. Even if I have to lose another pawn, if I have to lose a pawn. So I lose the c4 pawn. I guess I've given a bit of counterplay really with this b5. I'm just thinking there's almost queen e5 for rook d8. On another day there'll be queen e5. Alright, he takes c4 I guess, to really be a pawn up. There might be h4, h5. Oh, there might be e5 after. Okay. Can I target d6 again? Rook f2 for a moment. And double to threaten queen e5 here. Fascinating threat for queen rook d8. I'm actually threatening rook d6 as well. I wonder if he might spot the first threat but not the second. So rook b6, queen e5. Rook g7. There's rook g7. There's rook d6. That threatens rook d8, winning the queen. Rook d6, rook d6. Okay, so queen e5 is on here. Rook g7, rook d6 threatens rook d8, rook d6, rook d6. And then he moves the... let's see. Rook g7, rook d6, rook d6, queen d6. Maybe rook d6 because there's rook c8 at the end of this and the rook's hanging. So rook d6, queen d6, queen d6, rook d6, rook moves rook d8. So I have got the form pawn. I've got the back row to look forward to. Queen d8 threatened. Thanks for the game. Enough exciting one there. Okay. User 1234. Tango. So I'm trying to provoke the pawns on light squares to get the corresponding dark square play. And this, I really feel comfortable in this, as comfortable as the Botvinnik system with white, actually. If I had to measure the comfortness levels, they're high up for me here and then in the Botvinnik system. The dark square bishop's good. There's no bad bishop here. The pawns are on light squares. There's nice dark square play. Unlike the Benoni, you do pay a price in the Benoni for dark square play. You've got that d6 liability. There's no major structural defect for white to target. In the Benoni, you know, like knight d2 to c4, you're paying a price for dark square play. This is more like using provocation to sort of, in theory, give white a space advantage, but the dark square play's there without a structural target like you would have in the Benoni. So I think it's like getting some dark square play for sort of very little to pay for it, really. Alright, can I... Okay, this looks good anyway. It looks like a Benoni E-file anyway here. I'm wondering c6 is immediately probably, maybe it's a legitimate threat, queen b6 to win the b2 pawn. Possibly. It's like tempting. It's really, actually, I don't know, it's being a bit, yeah, is it greedy? I don't know if it's greedy. This is a greedy looking move. But, you know, that diagonal has been weakened with the f pawn. Whenever the f pawn moves, like the diagonal of death opens up. Yeah, I'm tempted because I'll be forking both knights. I'm tempted. There's rook f2 though, if he wants to protect stuff. Oh, this knight's already protected anyway. Except, and there's no knight h5 either. That knight's already protected. If rook f2 though, queen b2. So queen b2 here, is it actually worth it? I'm hitting d2. It might be annoying unless my queen gets trapped. That's always a bit of a concern. Naughty move. Greedy. I do lots of videos about greed. Am I gonna... Maybe sometimes greed is justified. I hope greed is justified here. I can take another pawn. Yes, I can take another pawn. There's going to be the wrath of f5 and the g-file soon. If I try and fix try and stabilize the center. See what's going on centrally at the moment. Queen a3. I'm asking for f5 soon. There is knight g4 with the idea of winning c3 soon. Knight g4, so I could stick around on c3 and play knight g4. There's always f5 at the end of it. Okay, it's a little bit of trouble here, really. I wonder if bishop d7 and rook c8. What concerns me is this g file. Okay. I wonder king h7 and rook g8 as an option. Just to have the option of rook g8. Okay. I'm going to give myself, I hope this is wise, to give myself the option of rook g8. Because it looks as though rook g1 and f5 is something of major concern. Now this, yeah, bishop d3 looks scary. Can I can use the idea of knight g4 maybe. Or maybe take and then... Oh, he's always got e6 after. I think knight g4 might be something to think about. Yeah. It's a bit wild now. I don't really... I'm not really comfortable with this now. Okay. But I've noticed that taking maybe is not good for e6. e6 here maybe is under better circumstances. I play f5 maybe. Am I talking nonsense? Is that h5? There's h3. f5 you can always take en passant. I want to block out this file. I can take some pawns. He's going to play bishop g4 there, isn't he? Alright, well that's blocked up the file, so knight f4, e takes. I wonder if knight f4, okay, e takes is interesting. Well, there's another pawn over here as well. I'm getting a collection of pawns. I just don't want my king slaughtered on the g file too quickly. So g5 is coming up. Can I play this for rook e3? I think rook e3 might be an incoming. For rook h3, for king g2, for knight h4. Rook e3 looks as though that's a sensitive square with tempo. Okay. Not too many squares here. I think my queen is trapped, isn't it? With rook b1. I'm trying to face up to that. Okay. I'm trying to just pretend it doesn't exist. Okay, maybe there was b5. No, there wasn't. It was just losing the queen. How is this so disastrous? How is it so disastrous that rook b1? I mean, all I did was play a check and win a pawn. Did I really commit, like, you know, murder on the chessboard? Right, rook e3 here. Rook e3. And it's early in the morning, but yeah, queen b6, queen b2 would seem to be asking for it, but I don't know. It justifies the whole f4 thing with the g file. Maybe the whole thing was totally justified. You know, I'll threaten mate with rook h3. Alright, yeah, my queen appeared to be just very trappable. Let's have a look. Just confirm suspicion about this. It says this is slightly better for white, actually. Oh, there's also knight f2. I could have played knight f2 here, just to drag the queen away from c3. That was an early idea, but apparently white... Oh, it's equal there. That's what I should have done, maybe. So, yeah, there's knight c4 here. Probably just winning the queen. If queen b3... Oh, hg here. Okay, this is a bit... Hang on. Right, in the game continuation, let's just check out the game continuation. Yeah, knight c4 did... Oh, knight c4. So, you know when I played this, isn't that just rook b1 instead of... It's just rook b1. I don't know how this happens, really. I know I was being greedy, but really, I mean, is it really that much punishment? I just, oh, can I ever collect pawns without getting them absolutely, like, massacred? Like, okay, so, again, there's bishop d1. Oh. Is it fair? Oh, there's the pawn, yeah. There's really no squares for the queen. Oh, cracking. The best would be to try and get something for the queen. It's not really enough. Okay, well played. Well played. It's a comfortable start position, I think, again. Maybe okay, yeah, I was going to say I'd be more concerned if white had a quicker c3, d4 to put some more pressure quicker against my central occupation. I'm wondering, is f5 really going to backfire on this diagonal? Will it really backfire on this diagonal if I played f5? You could take... If he ever takes, though, I'm always going to play, like... Well, usually I'm going to play e4 and open up this bishop. f5, f5 is almost, like, tempting. Let's just check out the tactics of knight g5. Queen h5, bishop h6. It shouldn't be a total disaster. f5, should it? If I can get away with f5, then there's f4, then there's g5, knight g6. So it depends. Can I get away with f5? I could look again concretely at this. EF, GF, knight g5, hg, queen h5, bishop h6, bishop g4. Come on. Can I do this? Any b5? I think I'll play knight d5. Oh, okay, I'm going to risk it. Oh, I hope it doesn't backfire. b5, I think I've got... Right. So f4 is just given to me. So this is just given to me this natural kind of expansion plan. Of h5 and g4. I mean, I don't know why I wouldn't play these moves. G4 looks so inviting. I mean, maybe I should consider knight a5 here, just to leave the knight on d5 as a sort of, actually a tactical liability almost for c6. But I suppose there's always knight b4. It's still like, because of c6, it's a kind of tactical liability. So do I need to actually exchange it off? I mean, the knight on e5 is not that exploitable as a target. Thinking about exploitable like weaknesses. Are they really weaknesses? Are they exploitable? Okay. So rook. If I played rook g8, I mean that seems like okay. There's bishop b4. Oh, maybe I should take on c4 on bishop b4. Okay, bishop b4, yeah. Bishop b4, I could play c6 immediately. Make white use the b4 square. g4, the problem is I don't want an exchange of queens after a knight move. If I play g4 immediately, it seems quite tasty. Bishop b4, suffer a bit of structure with b6. Getting the dark square bishop without a counterpart. I can't see why g4 is not tempting enough necessarily. g3 and queen h4 might be crushing. Queen h4 looks pretty tempting here. Okay, knight f3, queen g4. Let's think about this. Bishop b4. Okay, no. Okay, I have to take it here. Make sure the tactics are okay. Knight g5. There's no knight g5. Okay, queen h4. If knight f3, I'll do something else with the queen. And queen h5. Queen h6. Let's just check this position. Is he actually going to play knight h2? Yes. Okay. Alright, I want to get the same position with queen h6 now. Right. Isn't bishop g4 possible here? Okay, I'll lose the exchange. Okay, he's actually on my rook. The exchange sack seems plausible, except there's knight g5 check after. So maybe safer. Oh, there's knight g5 anyway coming. And for knight f7. Oh, that seems a bit scary. I'm going to play queen g5. I can sack the exchange. Play queen g5. Maybe knight c4 to e3 after. There's probably not enough compensation there. So knight g5 is scary. Is it because of knight f7 after? So I think I have to do something about this. So bishop g8, rook g8, knight g5, queen g5, bishop g5, bishop d1, rook d1, knight c4 to e3, knight c4 to e3. Key resource here, maybe. Oh, there was also queen h1 to think about. Alright, knight e3 here, that's queen b6, that's queen h1. Knight e3 here, or queen b6. Knight e3 seems tempting. It does actually protect the bishop now. Alright, can I crawl out of this? And the knight's pinned, so... I think I've got compensation somewhere. I think there's enough compensation. Actually, it's more maybe about pre-moves by this stage. Yeah, I think it's crazy. Yeah, no, I think that really opens up against my king earlier. I didn't expect that. Let's have a quick look. That looks crushing all of a sudden. Actually, it looks as though. There's always knight takes c7 as well. This. Yeah, it looks remarkably as if I have to lose the exchange. Knight c4 is okay for black there. What about just this, is that working? That gives white an advantage. But I thought it might have some play there. Apparently there's something better, queen d5. Queen d5. What is this doing? Oh, for knight takes e5. Okay, then I'm getting dismantled. I think I was thinking this position was something to do there. Let's just have a quick look at this one. I think I fictionalized this sort of scenario. It might not be immediately losing. Oh, but it's bad. Okay, well played. Yeah, there's time scramble there. Okay. Yeah, I think I overestimate the King's engine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's loads of weaknesses. That's why it's not played at the top level. You get these weaknesses, and then yeah, it can be horrible. Okay, I get it. I think I get it. Okay. Is there some F7 issue? if he played bishop f7, I think, I hope it's unsound. I'm hoping this is unsound. I mean, if it's unsound, it's like an extra bishop. One thing he could do is like queen e1 to queen h4. I wonder if g5 is... it's really asking for bishop f7. Okay, I think you might be tempted looking at this. There's some time spent looking at bishop f7, huh? I can't immediately, I mean, thankfully, I can't immediately see it being devastating. I thought the queen would be on h4. I think that was scarier. The queen coming to h4. This just seems to run into f5, f4 here. Again, I'm probably overestimating these positions like the previous game. I mean, I'm creating weaknesses, which creates controversy. So I'm overestimating this position as usual. But it is blitz as well. I mean, which means if you cause some problems, the opponent gets short of time. It's just blitz as well. I mean, you can take more risks in blitz. I mean, okay, here, let's see bishop c5 though. Bishop c5, b6. b6 first to avoid bishop c5. This could be a painful diagonal. I mean, bishop c5 without prompting could be annoying. Let's do something about that. Yeah, I don't want the bishop on c5 on this diagonal. Actually, I had an interesting discussion with my brother yesterday, quite philosophical, between chess and music, and we linked chess and music, and also films, hero and anti-hero. Actually, I had this mega abstract discussion that when I annotate games. He was saying, no, you know, what if the games, isn't it good to get perfect games? And I said, yeah, you know, sometimes I will inject what if mistakes to see the fun of the punishment. I have to be worried about b5 and rook a5 here, don't I? Rook d8, b5, ab, knight a5. Rook a5 for bishop b7. So if I can't use that d8 square in a hurry with rook d8. So I'd rather do this. I'll just sort out this tactical issue first. So anyway, so when annotating games, you know, to look at all the mistakes, the material grabbing moves, the weakening moves, all the kind of villains, because with villains you justify heroes. So you create all these villains when you analyze the game. Well, when I do, I try and do this. So you create loads of villains, loads of mistakes, even if it's a perfect computer versus computer game. And then you end up with a load of virtual puzzles, basically. Each variation, I've noticed, is like a puzzle. So even if it was like Stockfish against whatever, you know, if the computer played something else, a blunder, you've created a villain which requires a hero. And if you look at all the variations you've analysed, I don't know if anyone's analysed games in detail, but quite often, you know, you can get a lot of puzzles from analysing games, I've noticed. So I got 26 puzzles just out of my last Leela game, 26, which I then tested myself on after, and yeah, it was quite interesting. Okay, so can I do f4 and g5 or f8? Is f4 actually still interesting? I mean, maybe it's interesting, maybe it's not. Okay, I mean, I don't know. Is this d4 really happening with the queen there? Because the queen there seems to be nice for my bishop. Okay, so this pin, okay, and protect the queen for this incoming d4. So anyway, but it's not just incorporating blunders in analysis. It, you know, any sort of weakening moves like playing the Dutch defense, you know, can lead to a lot of fun. Like knight e6, queen e7, rook e7, cb, rook c1, ab. Is this? Am I getting into trouble here? What about g4 here? I can g4, cb, rook c1, g4 here, and then there's knight f5 on the cards. Maybe knight e6 now. This might not be desirable. I have got a clock advantage, but this might not be desirable. Maybe there's bishop f8. Maybe there's knight f5. Well, doubling on c5, what would he do? Pawn pawn. The check looks... Rook on the 7th. Keep the pawn pawn. Well, I've got a pass pawn over here, and also two connected pass pawns if I win a5. There's a pass pawn there. Yeah, that was turned out okay. Okay, yeah, maybe I was in trouble there. That was interesting. I think it was more stable than the previous game, though. Okay, break your fingers. Can I do this gambit? I have played this gambit before. I mean, clearly I have played a gambit already, rather. But I like fianchettoing. Is it like knight e4, like incoming knight e4? I don't like this pin necessarily. Yeah, it looks a bit wobbly, this position. Oh, I'm not sure how this is going to go. Have I got the potential for g5? Yeah. For h4. Some sort of... Then knight h2 to g4, maybe. Whilst my centre collapses. That could be unfortunate. Is knight takes d4, knight e5, knight b5? Would he allow knight b5? Well, he's probably got knight f3, check. I might be able to insert f4. Oh, there's knight d3 after. What about queen d4 instead then? Bishop e3. Let's just try and stop knight c5 use. Knight e3, rook e3. Try and win another pawn, can't he? I'll try and undermine this structure before it's I wonder if knight d6 or knight g3, maybe knight g3, or takes the knight g3 to try and leave a target on a8. If there's bishop f3, I'm not sure actually, there's no target. Okay, I could be losing on the centre pawn. Knight e5. I'll take here. I was hoping for a loose piece on e7 potentially. Queen d2 for bishop somewhere. Knight h5, bishop d4, knight h5, maybe. Or knight f5. Bishop d4 for knight f5. I am a couple of pawns down, right? Bishop d4 for knight f5. Let's say bishop d6, bishop d4, queen f4. I'm going to have to point it as king now. Bishop, okay, so knight f5. So queen. There's bishop e5 here, or queen e3. Maybe queen e3, there's knight d3. If I played bishop g7, rook e7, there's bishop e7, queen e3, knight d3. What about bishop e5 for queen d4? Maybe that's the best of the lot at the moment. Queen d4 puts more pressure on g7. So I'm sort of creating a battery against g7 here. Okay, stop that. What about knight e3? There's knight d3. Okay. So that's loose, that piece. Okay. Let's try and do something quickly. Knight d3. Hold on. Now I'm in big trouble now. Of course. Yeah. This is rather awkward. Hmm. To try one at least for a moment. Is there knight a5 for h6? Knight f5. Oh, he's got bishop f2, right? Oh, there's bishop g7. Oh, potentially there was. Queen f5, queen g7. Oh, 26 seconds as well. That's 6 million pawns down. It's gone. 95. Thanks. Well played. Looks as though, yeah, I don't like that. My sense are collapsing. I don't like the themes too much. Okay, well played. I wonder if I could have done something better earlier. Let's have a quick look. I didn't like the pin either, actually. I didn't like the position really out of the opening. I wonder how I got this. How did I get this again? Knight f3, casually played. Okay. Maybe. Okay, e4 is not. Is it a total disaster already, or? I think I'm just worse here now. Much worse. Losing another pawn. Okay. Okay. Try this. Trying to get some dark squares. It's not just about winning a pawn here. Opponent's disconnected. If I played knight d4, is that move? Because I'm just running knight e7 hg and knight g5 after. Might be dangerous. So maybe c6 is handy. Is it possible c6 is handy? Try not to be greedy here. This looks stable until he sacrifices a piece in romantic era style. It should be pretty stable. Or would it be knight takes f4? Oh god. Am I in for knight takes f4 now? Okay, I guess I am. It's possible. And it looks... oh, god. No. It's 2 in the morning for knight f4. Oh, god, in Bennett. Oh, it's b5 too late already. Okay, I think I might have to take this on gold. Huh. Or if I played like knight e6 or bishop e6, is that asking for it? Trying to avoid a bishop f7. If I took on h4, yeah, I don't think he's threatening this, so can I just castle? I think bishop d4 is good. Maybe I'm mistaken. I'll still offer the knight. Oh, God knows. I don't know. Okay, had some connection issues. Can I tempt d5 with bishop g4? I wonder. Tempt d5. Because if bishop e2, bishop takes, and then... Alright, well, this is interesting, isn't it? Okay, if he castles queenside, yeah, you know. This could be dangerous. Crikey. I wonder if I should play h5. Is that a way of getting completely wrecked if I play h5? f5, king h7. It probably is. Oh, I don't know. I don't know anymore. It's too early in the morning. Okay. I don't know. f5, king h7. I just hope something. This might be an idea. I don't know. Crikey. f5, king h7. He can always like sack the bishop. You could sack the bishop. I mean, I don't know. That looks dangerous as well. Just okay. King h7. Try and do something defensively. What? f5. Actually, f5 would lock in that bishop. Hold on. Yeah. He's giving me some squares to play with. At least bishop h6 is off the table at the moment. If I doubled the rooks and then played rook f4, that'd be bishop h6. The way things stand with the king on c1. If I just double the rooks, I'm going to lose h5 now. To get a centre pawn. Oh, there's actually f4 there for rook f4. Bishop h6. Or the immediate threat of knight e3 for bishop h6. They can play that. I'll try and take this guy off. I mean, is it worth taking? I suppose it's worth taking off the light square bishop. I guess it's worth taking off. Yeah? I guess. If it's offered. Bishop e4, let's say c6, is that plausible? Rook f1, d5. Bishop f5, rook f5. c6 and d5 to bishop e4, is that plausible? He could, I suppose, take on f5 and take on d6. Right. Why can't I just take on d3 and take on d4 here? This is check. I just take on d4 with the bishop. Right. Okay, there's a pin on f5 clearly, and queen d4 is not threatened because that's the one pinning the knight. So what if I just played bishop g7 for a moment, or is that too slow? Bishop g7? Is it too slow? There's also knight e4 to g5 to think about. What about just Oh, taking off c3. There's one less attacking piece to worry about. From knight e4 to g5. If I unpin here, and knight g7, answer rook f2 with knight g7, that seems plausible to protect h5. Another major check there, is there? Queen f7 seems plausible. There's actually queen a2 here. That's interesting. Maybe not much because of queen g6. Queen g8, queen g6, queen h7 keeps the queen around here. Queen g8, out of necessity. Queen g8, queen g6, queen h7. What's the matter with that? Queen right here. Yeah, don't like these pins. I can play this check, or I can play c5. I'll play the check first, and then c5 without dropping d6. So c5 gets that queen off the pin. I don't like the pins. Pin and win. Can I challenge these rooks? Ah. Is queen e6 possible just to go to a rook and pawn ending? Rook g7, queen f7. I think I'd fancy my chances there. No, hang on. I'll get mated. Hold on. Try and not get mated immediately. I'm getting squished into a pulp here. Knight e8 doesn't allow queen f6. Okay. Although, yeah, it seems as though I'm losing the queen. Whoops. On the bright side, I can go for a form pawn here with pawn on c3, potentially. I don't think my opponent's going to make it, really. Yeah, that was... Okay, very difficult, it seems, to defend these positions. Mysteriously difficult. Let's have a quick look. I had a better defence than losing the queen, surely. Hang on. No, I think I got in trouble here. Did I get in trouble with this move? Huh. So I was about to allow mate in one. Apparently, rook e6 and black shouldn't have too many problems. So I didn't control g6. I went passive with one move. Well, and now white's at least equal with rook g6. So white's winning with queen f6 there. I have to play queen e3. Apparently this might, okay, c4 for, this might be okay. Oh, this, I don't know, equal, don't know, weird. It's changing its mind. The engine's changing its mind. Okay, I well played. That was really dangerous, and as evidenced. I think this might be the last game today, early morning. Hi there. Okay, should we do the 10 elephant thing soon? 1 elephant, 2 elephant. Does anyone want to challenge me for a 3-minute game? The last game challenge. If you challenge me for a 3-minute game. 3 elephants, 4 elephants, 5 elephants, 6 elephants, 7 elephants, 8 elephants, 9 elephants, 10 elephants. Okay, I think we have to abort this. Try and get one more challenge in the next 3 minutes. Any 3-minute games? Any 3-minute games? Nope. Right, Cobra. I'll try and play quickly against Cobra. Okay, so it might be behind schedule. Now I don't want to do that gambit. I want to just take on d5. I don't want to do that gambit like earlier. In fact, I think this is respectable, this exchange Slav. It's a bit of pressure without much controversy. Stop bishop g4, in fact. It looks like an okay position at the moment, I believe. Can I do something on the queen side? Oh, it looks as though rook c1 would have been interesting for bishop c7. This might be handy, bishop e5 as well. But bishop c7, oh, okay, there's queen e7. Right. Tempo. It's not a big deal, but maybe I can double the rooks quicker. If he wants to challenge the rooks, I think now's the time. Rook c8. Yeah. Mind you, maybe queen takes, and I've got something to play with. Queen c7, for example. Maybe the a5 pawn is slightly vulnerable. Queen c7. If queen e7, bishop d6. Yeah, this might be something to play with here in terms of an advantage. Possibly queen c7, queen a8. Though, what about queen a8? Maybe there's not too many. Oh, bishop c7 here. Ooh, that looks nasty. At first glance, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. It looks like. Ooh. Possibly I should use the exchange Slav more. Small-ish edge. Okay, I could always slip in knight e5 here as well. Or is that being too cheeky? I could play knight. The queen's not protecting the knight here. Oh, the queen's taking on a4. Let's just take this knight off. Okay, if he wants to stop knight e5, knight e4. Well, maybe I can take on a5 there, in any case, on knight e4. So I'm controlling the c file at the moment. It looks as though a5 is going to drop off. Okay, so I can play knight e5, it seems. I'll just play b3 here for a moment, just to make sure I'm not losing a4 in a hurry. Okay, I can challenge this knight to move, I hope. Can I get some pieces off with queen c6? Bishop c5 looks tempting. The thing is rook c8. Well, there's queen takes d6 there. I think rook d8, maybe there's knight d7. The knight's holding the rook, so I think I can afford to play this, because the knight's holding the rook. Okay, there's bishop f8 maybe. Can I play queen d7? If bishop e5, queen takes his check. Okay, yeah. I think it was a difficult opening position at some point. Maybe e6 was not needed. Okay, thanks. Okay, I hope you have a great rest of Sunday and nice week. Thanks all. Thanks for coming. See you next week. I think at a more later hour, as usual, 11:30. I hope next week, unless there's another major tournament on. Okay, see you then. Thanks very much.